everybody. It's John Wayne Mullins. Hope you're having a great day. It's day 43 of my 100-day challenge. And tonight I'm continuing to talk about things that I am learning in this season of becoming a new dad. I have a 7-month-old son, and I work from home. And the challenges of being a dad, a business owner, a husband, a board member it can be very exhausting. And the more and more that I have grown into this position and explore this role and explore this topic of becoming a new dad and talking about it with many of my friends and mentors, and even in the webinars I've been doing, I've been learning a lot. I've been learning about the challenges of being a dad, the challenges that many new dads face. Now, this past week, we've been talking a lot about boundaries and why boundaries are so important, especially as a new dad. Today, I got a chance to share what I've been doing with one of my mentors, and I asked him about what advice he would give to a new dad, specifically about on the topic of boundaries. And I wanted to share his response with you. He said, boundaries are so important, and if you can learn that as a new dad, it's going to be so much easier as your son or daughter gets older. And I took so much from that. And I think one of the reasons why I've been talking about this topic and I've been learning about it is because with some of the men that I've been talking to and asking these questions, they said they wish they would have learned the value of this or the principle behind establishing healthy boundaries in their business, in their life, in their marriage, in their home. It would have made their lives a lot easier, but it certainly would have prevented harder challenges further down the road. And I agree with that. I think one of the things that I learned very early in my marriage is that I knew the type of husband that I wanted to be. And as we started planning on having kids, I started, even when I was, not a dad, I went to this men's retreat. It was for new dads and it was for husbands and fathers. And they were reading a study based on the book Stepping Up by Family Life Ministries. I believe Dennis Rainey is the author. But in the book, it was asking, the premise was, what does it mean to step up and serve the role as dad, as a husband, as a father, as that male figure? What does that mean? What does that look like? What does it mean to be a courageous leader in the home? And the central theme that I took from that was these men who are successful, they know where the lines are. They know the importance of having those boundaries in their life if they want to be successful, not only in their careers, but in the most important things. One thing that I've learned is that as you step in the role of being a dad, now is certainly the time, like I said, to learn how to set those boundaries, because another individual shared this with me this week. He said, this is so important because the time with your kids can never be regained. And he's so true. Many dads have told me that how fast kids grow, that, you may have a 7-month-old, but he's going to be 18 and moving out before you know it. And I can't imagine, that seems so far away to me right now. And, but I think in this season as a new dad, I only have one child right now, but in this season as a new dad, I think there's certainly a window of opportunity for you to learn your role. And I know I'm going to continue to learn and grow as a better man, as a better dad, and it's only going to get better. But now is the time, I think, for new dads, like brand new dads, less than a year old, to learn, ask the question, what kind of dad do I want to be? How engaged of a dad do I want to be in my father's life? That may seem really simple. He's like, oh, of course I know. Well, what does that look like? And if you have that image, once you have that vision, what is it going to take for you to do that? What are those hard lines that you are going to have to draw in your business, in your organization, in your community? I talked to one dad today. He said, being a dad, being successful in my business and being successful at home is easy for me, but I know my priorities, and my priorities are my kids and my wife, my family. Now, if anything comes before that, or if I have an important meeting, or I have an incredible business opportunity, at the same time that my son is having a baseball game or an event, I'm going to ask to reschedule because my kids come first. And I think that's so incredible. That's such an incredible attribute. But that man, my friend, he knows his priorities. And it's easy to lose sight of those priorities if you're not managing those disciplines every day. And so I think now it's one of the reasons why I'm focusing so much on this topic of boundaries is because, like I said, I think now is such an incredible time for you to learn what are those boundaries that you need to set up now, or even set up with your wife about, hey, what am I going to have to, what do I need to think about? Or because I know they're certainly going to change. I know they're certainly going to move as you have more kids, or you that's as your son or daughter gets more older. Obviously, those boundaries are going to shift for you. But now's the time for you to learn, what your priorities are, and that's certainly, it's a growing period, just like anything else. Um, so yeah, if I could share anything that, like I said, from what I'm learning about this topic and in this season, specifically this week, from everyone that I've been talking to, is once you know your priorities and know your values, once you learn how to manage those daily decisions around that, because you know what those are, life's going to get a little bit easier, and it's certainly going to get a little bit easier to enforce those, because it's going to be a part of your daily habits, your daily disciplines. So again, I certainly appreciate all the comments and feedback that I've been getting around this topic. It's certainly been something that has really encouraged me to take a deep dive into my research, my books this week, and even reading, the Boundaries book by Dr. Henry Cloud, which I'm going to put a plug in. If anybody knows Dr. Cloud in my network, I'd love to have him on the show, or love to have like a 10-minute conversation with him, or even do a live recorded call with him about boundaries for new dads. So if anybody knows Dr. Cloud, or even Dr. John Townsend, I would love to have that conversation and bring him into this conversation for new dads. And so until tomorrow's going to be day 44. Enjoy your weekend and be well, and have a great night and have a great weekend. Take care, everyone.